First responders, they're in the action mode of trying to stamp out a lot of the violence, bad things happening, but the absence of the spiritual world, I think, is an ingredient that's being missed.
I'm just excited to sit with Jamie Warden, one of our ministry partners that's been with us since day one of starting and founding Mission First Alliance as a national gospel-focused first responder alliance. I probably first met your sister, Lindsay Coppinger, in the Portland, Oregon area probably over 10 years ago as she was involved in first responder ministries with Responder Life and then with Navigators. And then Katrina, involved with the Navigators and the first responder ministry, got connected to your other sister, Sue Grow, in North Carolina. And Katrina got involved in a triad group of 3 women that were just investing in each other's lives and meeting on a regular basis. And then we moved to Cleveland, Tennessee, and we bought our house sight unseen, and we were just looking for the Chattanooga area. And I remember telling Lindsay Coppinger, and she's like, "No way." She's like, "My brother lives in Cleveland, Tennessee." And then we look and we're like, you were 2 miles away from us and where we bought a house. And so we've just loved being on this journey with you all. And it's been such an encouragement to us to be able to share with you all. And every time that we get to come to the table and say, you won't believe what God did. I mean, there's story after story after story, but really at the beginning of this year where we started praying about an office space, our house isn't big. You've come over to our house and we were pretty much operating at the dining room table or the kitchen counter and stuff all over in the kids' bedrooms. And we just said, Lord, it'd be amazing to have a little office space or maybe a little bit bigger space that we could serve local first responders. And then God closed 3 or 4 doors. And I remember sharing those with you and saying, I don't know, God keeps closing doors. And I think you even said, God's got a plan. He's going to provide the right one at the right time. And then we already had a lunch planned with you and Deb a block away. And we said, before we go to lunch, could we just look in the window and show you a place that might be available? And looked in the window and said, what do you think about this space?
Well, let me go back. I just have to say, every time I connect with you, Jeremy and Katrina, is that there's always a story. And the story is just so fresh, and absolutely every one of them. I can't think of any that aren't orchestrated by God. That's the exciting part of the whole ministry. It really is. And the infancy stages of Cleveland, we came down here because of our daughters that went to Lee University, and one lives down here. So being close to family meant a lot. It wasn't much later that Lindsay mentioned that you guys were moving. I didn't know you at all. But she was very emphatic of saying, you got to meet these guys. Sure. And so ever since we met, I have to say God orchestrates so many details, because I was hesitant at first. Very quickly I was very well connected, but I very much felt that if you're going to do a ministry, why Cleveland, Tennessee, out of all places? My recommendation was, if you need connections, 1, get to a big church. 2, you better stay in the police force, because you got lots of connections there, and then you work outside of that. And all those recommendations, you had good reasons that we're not going that way. Every case, I can see where the Lord worked through that. Even the side of not connecting professionally with the police or anything else gave you the time that was well needed to establish yourself down here with roots. Even to the point of finding this place, a headquarters. My first impression would be, give it some time, live out of your house for a while. But after you've opened this place up, I'm amazed at what you did in a very short amount of time, not only by yourself, with lots of volunteers too. All those connections, I think, are part of the strength and roots that keep this ministry going.
You guys were already investing in some other first responder ministries. And there's no shortage of missions organizations. There's no shortage of nonprofit organizations. There's no shortage. But what would you say to someone considering investing in this?
The networking is the powerful ingredient in all this, bringing it together under an umbrella where resources can be used and relationships are being made.
Where you talked about us still in an infancy stage and still 2.5 years in, and we're growing in our greatest need is just constantly organizational capacity, and you can see through the conference and the Leader Summit retreats and starting a podcast, even just supporting all of the organizations in the Alliance.
I think the excellence in such a short amount of time has been really well demonstrated. I've only been to one conference, which was the recent one down in Chattanooga. The first one I didn't attend, but after 2 conferences, and I've been to lots of missional conferences, the excellence that went into that with such a small group was outstanding. So how the money is being used, I think always have preached this, stories. Out of it comes lots of stories. And every time I connect to you, Jeremy, you got a new story.
Yeah.
As I start taking a look and reflecting upon contributions and how they're being used and the good number of groups that we do give to, it didn't take me long to saying, this is the group we want to continue in on. When we first supported you, I felt that give it some time. We're going to commit because I know this is infancy stages, but we're not too sure. After a few years, let's see where we're at. After a few years, I'm just totally committed so far that it's going really quite well.
Yeah.
And that's good to feel that I'm being part of that, because I do feel that this is the partnership, and you guys have made both Deb and I feel that way too.
You guys have blessed us more than you'll ever know, and it just feels like a partnership into building God's kingdom. It's amazing that God uses us. And that God uses us in different ways. I mean, everyone in the body of Christ in different ways.
Well, as partners, it makes it very easy on us. Statistically, new missional groups probably aren't great in terms of how long are they going to last, especially when you're funneling a lot of money into a group and getting it going, first of all. How are they doing from year to year? After 2-3 years of working with you guys, I really don't have much questions in terms of your vision going forward. And the biggest one, which I'm very in tune with, is who are you attributing that vision to? You always turn this over to Jesus.
And I feel like it keeps me in the right mindset too. Even filing the paperwork with the IRS, we said this is going to be a gospel-focused, alliance, and saying that we want to bring the hope of Jesus to first responders. And there were some people on the outside saying, "Do you want to put all of that on the IRS paperwork?" Yes, this is what God's putting on our heart.